when my mother found out that I was going to be the master of ceremonies, she said, Jeffrey, when a Jewish mother says your full name, you're in trouble. You can't speak about Jesus at the funeral. And I said, Mom, it's not your place to tell me that. I said, this is Dad's funeral. And I was asked by my brothers, you divorced him. You don't have this right. And I said, I know what Dad will want me to say. And today I'm going to honor him and I'm going to honor God. I said, when the day comes for your funeral, if you don't want me to talk about Jesus, then that's your business. But this is my business for today. Well, when I was at the funeral, my brothers spoke first, and it came my time, and I talked about growing up with my dad, that education was very important to him, that our going to Hebrew school was very important, that my going to Hebrew school for 5 years so that at least in his mind I would understand what it means to be a Jew. And then on Friday nights or Saturdays when we would go to synagogue, my dad loved to hear the Rabbi William B. Gold give his sermon. So I finished off the time of speaking at the funeral by saying, at the end of my dad's life, my dad met the most famous rabbi who ever lived. And I said, oh, how he loved to hear his sermons. I said, this was no ordinary rabbi. I said, let me tell you a little bit about his life. And I began to preach the gospel message from the Old Testament and share the credentials of the rabbi all the way to Isaiah 53. Well, I think that my mom's head spun around about 3 times. She was freaking out in the audience, but you could have heard a pin drop in the crowd. I don't think they really hate Jesus. I think they hate people who, in the name of Jesus, did bad things to Jewish people. They went from the first century before all of these kind of persecutions to Jewish people in the name of Jesus. In the first century, the real issue was that the Jewish people thought that the Jewish Messiah would come as a conquering king, and when he didn't, then they rejected Jesus because he didn't rid them of Rome. But as Christians, we understand before he will come as the physical conquering king, that he came as the atonement. This was a misunderstanding that the nation of Israel had, and a lot of it was because they had departed from God, and had they really known God, that when he sent his son, they would have recognized him. And a very big percentage of the nation, there was a remnant, because all the first followers of Jesus were Jewish. But yeah, I don't believe it's so much that they hate Jesus. They think they do. But what they really hate are people who, in the name of Jesus, did very hurtful things to Jewish people. And such atrocities, you'd have to put yourself in their shoes to try to understand. And it's real important that the Christian community does exactly what they did to me. Reach out with a lot of love, unconditional love to the Jewish people, and to just show them the love of Christ. There was a lady named Corrie ten Boom, whose father and family made a hiding place in the walls of their home during the Nazi regime. And they were hiding Jewish people during World War II, and they got caught. The whole family died, and but Corrie ended up going to a concentration camp with her family, and she didn't die. She got out through a miracle, and then went all around the world telling her story about her love for Jesus and her family's love for Jewish people, to the degree that they were willing to risk their neck and to die for the sake of Jewish people. Well, this kind of got my attention, because whatever the real deal is, that was it. These were real Christians.